everyone, it's Monday. I can't believe how faded my hair is now. I've just come into town because finally I'm hopefully going to get some contact lenses that will actually work with my eyes and will not be painful or uncomfortable. Fingers crossed that they're alright and they don't hurt. I'm home and I filmed a video all about colitis which should be going up on my channel on Wednesday, so by the time this has gone up it will already be there, so I'll leave a link to that down below. That's why I'm wearing lipstick. I wasn't wearing any lipstick before, but I thought I'd put some on for the video. I'm now going to try and edit it and get it done so I don't have to think about it tomorrow because I've got a lot of college work to do tomorrow. Good morning everyone, it's Tuesday, which means I'm on my way to college. I look like I've been dragged through a bush. I just had really broken sleep because my stomach kept getting sore. And I don't know, I just felt really hot. It's really strange that we've gone from like freezing temperature and needing my radiator on every night to being like fairly warmish. Actually, it's not too bad. I've got lots of pre-observations to fit in today in both waxing and makeup application before I do my final assessment next week, so I feel like today is going to be very long and very dragging. Hello everyone, so I thought I should probably mention the clip from yesterday. Basically what happened is I had a phone call and I had to go and pick my 15-year-old brother up from school. They said he was coughing up blood, and when I got there he wasn't very well at all. He had a very high temperature, was feverish, he was shaking, so I got him into the doctor straight away. The doctors prescribed him some antibiotics and said that he has a pretty severe chest infection. They also said that because he was coughing up a fair amount of blood, that he will need an x-ray at the hospital within the same day, so they gave us like a letter, and I went straight into the RVI to get it done, and he should get the results within a week. I'm pretty sure it's nothing serious, and I'm sure it's just a really bad chest infection, and he's got the medication now, so he should hopefully start to feel better soon. So that was literally like my whole day. Like my whole day was from about 11 or something, picking him up, waiting for the doctors to say where, and then going to the hospital until about 4:30, and then on the night time I was at Agility. So my day was pretty constant, and of course I didn't really vlog. That video I took was actually sent to my mum so she could see that he was okay and he wasn't like terrible. So I thought I might as well just put it in my vlog because if you don't mind. Today I have been to the gym this morning because I didn't get to go yesterday. Obviously I wouldn't normally go on a Thursday, but I thought I would just fit it in today instead. And I can't film, I can't take any blog photos, I can't do anything like that because the weather is so horrible outside that it's literally dark in here. Like I've got my room light on, which is quite yellow, which is why it looks like this. So I'm going to see if I can write some blogs instead, and then later on tonight I'm at Eric's house. What the hell, Royal Mail? So I just got this through the post with this letter, I'm not even joking. I'm just covering my address, but it is this letter that is completely ripped in half, as you can see, and it was completely empty. Like, what am I supposed to do now? It says I can claim, but I don't know what was in it, what was supposed to be in it, what's happened to it, where it's gone, how this even happened. Why would you even post this? Like, how silly, how embarrassing for the postman to even put this through the door. I picked up all this medication, I think last week, and I still haven't sorted it out, so I'm going to do that now. When you've got to take medication up the bum like I do, these things are a lifesaver. They're like little finger condoms, just so you know. So these are basically my like most used medication. These are all things that I take every day. These are like different I take the same dose every day, but it's just because for some reason I've got some of the smaller tablets where I'll take more of them, and some of the bigger ones where I would take less. So I'm taking the same dose each time. I've got absolutely loads of them, and I have loads because I'm on quite a high dose. And then all of these suppositories. I'm going to take one of these every single day. And those suppositories are why I have these, because I don't really like having to put my finger up my bum every day. So these are handy. I've then got so many of these enemas, and they're such a big box because it's like a foam pump. You get like the pump like this, and then you put that on, and then once you've used that you throw that away, and then you reuse this for about, I think it lasts maybe 2 weeks. That's why I've got so many of them. It's to last me for a while. And I do this every night. I've got to take 2 pumps of that. Lucky me. I've got some sodium docusit because I do use these sometimes, not a lot. It's just because with colitis it can kind of go both ways. You can get really bad diarrhea, or if your inflammation is particularly bad, and because it's hard for people like me to eat a lot of fibrous foods, you can get the opposite kind of effect and get quite bunged up. So these are handy for that. They're basically like a laxative, essentially. So in this basket I've got my hormone pill, which I use every day for contraception. I've got paracetamol in there because, I mean, you can get a fever and things like that when you've got this condition, especially if it's quite bad. So they're useful. And then I'm going to put my codeine in here because I use those for when I'm in a lot of pain. So I take these as and when I need them. And that's where the sodium docusit can come in handy as well, because codeine can cause constipation, especially with someone who's already inflamed inside. So if I'm taking these when I'm in a lot of pain, they can bung me up and make things worse. So the sodium docusit can kind of like counter that, so to speak. So that's basically all the medication that I take regularly at the moment, and I just keep it in this drawer at the bottom of my bed, and I keep some out on the desk or on my bedside table just so I remember to take it. There we go, all nicely packed away. Good morning everyone, it's Friday and I'm on my way to my hospital appointment. I'm sorry for the noise, it's raining so heavy, so I've got like my wipers on and everything, which is quite noisy. I'm on my way to the hospital for my appointment for my colitis, and not gonna lie, I am extremely nervous for what they want to do with my medication. I am going to beg that they just try my steroids for a bit longer, because they did seem to work in January and February. It's just when I kind of dropped down to 1, I went from 3 tablets to 1 a day, like slowly, and it was when I dropped down to 1 a day that it started to get worse again. So I think I might just need it for longer, or at least a different kind of steroid or something like that, maybe something just slightly stronger, rather than going on to the other medications that I would much rather not be on. Oh my gosh, the traffic is terrible. I hate my hospital appointments as well, because every single time I've been over the last 2 years, I've probably had about between 20 and 30 hospital appointments. Every single one has been delayed for about an hour. My appointment's at 9:45, and then I have to wait about half an hour for the new medication, and then I have to wait like half an hour to get my bloods taken. It's literally like, it takes half a day just to see my consultant. I remember when I used to work and I used to have these appointments, I used to just take the whole day off, because I could never guarantee what time I would be back at work or anything like that. I really hope you heard me say all that, because, I mean, this car's noisy as hell. So I will update you after my appointment. I'm back. Okay, so colitis update and medication update. Basically, my body reacted well to the aggressive dose of steroids that I was on previously, and then when they dropped it, it got worse, which we already know that. So they've decided to start a different medication that I am aware of, and it's azathioprine, and basically it's an immunosuppressant, and I'm not allowed to take it for 2 weeks yet anyway, because he had to run like loads of different tests to make sure that I'm able to take it without any serious side effects. But it does still come with other side effects that I will most likely get, which I'm not looking forward to, but I feel like if it's going to make it better, it'll be worth it. So while I'm really nervous to start taking it, I feel like maybe it could be for the best. So the side effects are things like vomiting and nausea, having general flu-like symptoms, and just feeling really unwell while you're on it for the first few weeks. or however long it takes for that to go away. I've got to have regular tests to make sure it's not affecting my liver and my pancreas and things like that, because it is a really strong drug. It's quite advanced, and it takes up to 6 months before it starts working properly anyway, so I probably won't notice any real benefit, or at least for the first 3 months to 6 months. And while I'm on it, I've got to stay on the steroids back up to a high dose, because they need to slowly wean me off those, because quite clearly coming off those the way I was before wasn't good. So in 2 weeks I've got to ring them to find out the results of all the tests, to make sure that I'm able to start taking this medicine, and then I've got to start it. And I'm a bit gutted because it's happening basically just before my birthday, and it's quite likely that I'm going to be quite poorly for my birthday, which I would rather not, but I would also rather get the colitis under control. So yeah, kind of mixed feelings about this, I suppose. Like, I'm really nervous to start taking it because of the side effects, but I also feel like it could work. And if it doesn't work, I have to start taking other medications, which would be either infliximab or Remicade, which one of them is an infusion, kind of like chemotherapy, and the other one is like an injection in your stomach, and it looks a bit like an EpiPen, I suppose. And ideally I wouldn't want either of those. Out of the 3 that it could have been, azathioprine, which is just a tablet, is probably the best one it could be, I suppose. That's a silver lining. The other silver lining is that I now don't have to take any of the medications that I used to have to do up my bum. I really hated doing those things. They always hurt so much and they were just uncomfortable and unpleasant. So I'm kind of glad I don't have to take those anymore. I'm kind of trying to just stay positive and think of the best outcomes rather than the worst outcomes. So yeah, I just thought I would update you all, since I have been talking about my colitis over the last few weeks and what's been happening and stuff like that. I thought someone might want to know. Are they nice?
It's a new limited edition roast from Peru.
Sounds like it.
It's really sweet.
It's really sweet.
It's so sweet.
Got on proper shaking.
Shaking for me and buzz.
I know. Do you mind?
Why can't I drive? The brake is on here. The party brake off. Oh. Why never use that?
I have been so bad at vlogging this week. I have got almost no footage, I think. Yesterday we basically went to the cinema and I went shopping. I've got a whole video to film either next week or the week after, which is for my holiday, so it's going to be like holiday clothes and things like that. We went to see the new Tomb Raider film, which I'm really disappointed in. I personally thought they changed the story a bit too much, and I don't think she was a very good match for Lara Croft. Personally, that's just my opinion. So yeah, I mean, it was very like, it was quite slow to start, and then it was like action, 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 and I think the special effects and stuff were pretty good, and the action scenes were good. I just didn't really like how they changed Lara and how they changed the story, because it is based off the actual Tomb Raider game with Himiko and the island on Yamatai. So I don't know, I just didn't really like how they changed everything. Maybe that's just because like I'm a fan of the franchise. I am planning my week ahead for next week, and I do have quite a lot to do, so hopefully I will get a lot more footage next week.